Segment 2. If you missed segment 1, you probably didn't miss much because we picked probably the four worst games on the schedule. But that's just how they fell on Pigskin Pick'em. So there was no control I had over that. Thank you. Just like the Jags.
Not anymore. They're not like
True.
that.
Well, let's see here. Green Bay, Atlanta.
There you go.
And that was supposed to be the Sunday night game this week. Exactly. Thank you, NBC, for flexing it to... Well, we'll find out in the fourth segment. Anyway. New England. This is Cole's team. Against the Browns.
Well, the Browns team, now, like we mentioned at the beginning of the season, looked like they had something going. Now they are officially back to where they were, as Don liked to mention earlier in the season. He called that one. Yep. The Browns are really, really, I'm not gonna lie. As last week, they lost to a very, very, very interesting game to Jacksonville. And the Browns didn't play a bad game. I'm not going to say that because Josh Gordon isn't. Josh?
I think it was it Whedon that started?
Whedon started, yeah.
Then
Whedon did a great game. Whedon did start in that one. He played all right. But Gordon. Whew,
Josh Gordon, yes.
Josh Gordon. He was money in the bank.
Exactly.
I think he had 264 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Man, if you had him on your fantasy, congratulations. You hit gold.
But the rest of their team was.
Yes, they were. And now you play the New England team who, I don't know why, they like to struggle against horrible teams for some reason. As they played the Texans and barely came off a win that one, I believe only by 7 points.
Mm-hmm. That were in Boston, they'd be like,
oh yeah, they would have been happy in Boston to say that. But hey, you can't argue. A win's a win. They still are number 2 seed in the AFC. As they come in this game, and again, Cleveland not looking so hot. Patriots looking pretty hot. And it is in New England too. So if it's in Foxborough, you got to go with the Patriots in this one. And I have them winning 34-10.
Yeah. I read this picture online a while ago. It said their jersey is, their team, their jersey, their colors are, their city is. So, right, the Browns. And the Browns are basically, after their loss to the Jags. Which, in this league, if you lose to the Jags, even if they're hot, you are, am I right?
Yeah, I was going to say that. And they're playing good, though. I'm not telling you they were the Jags. They're playing good football now.
Believe it or not, that team will be, I'm going to say it, the Jags will be good in 3 years.
I can believe that.
If they stick with Gus, who is it? Gus Bradley and that staff and the team they have, maybe another quarterback. Look out for the Jags.
I'd say get another quarterback. Get another quarterback. Because I don't think Chad Henning has enough to do anything for that team right now.
But look out for him. But in this game, yeah, in Foxborough, no questions asked. 35-7. New England wins this game. Even with the 2013 Patriots, who look nothing like the 2012 Patriots were with talent-wise. You got Tom Brady, and you're playing against the Browns that are bad. You got to win.
Yeah, praise Tom Brady.
This game could get ugly because of last week's game. I don't think so if it's in Foxborough. 35-7, New England wins this game.
If you have a game on TV, it might get changed in the third quarter. Who knows?
Just like Bears and I think it was the Bears in St. Louis like 3 years ago.
Oh, yep, I remember.
It was
Patriots did it Tennessee too because Patriots
yep.
were up 42-0 at half.
Yep.
I remember that.
I remember my brother was at the Bears game, the snow game, where it got changed in the middle of the game to a different one. But anyway, the next game is probably the best game that's not America's Game of the Week on the schedule, and not because of favoritism. Eagles against Detroit.
Well, I gotta say this is probably one of the best games of the week. Is you have two teams who are, again, fighting for a playoff spot, and as well trying to fight for a division lead. As Detroit fans are just the happiest they can be right now, because I believe this is the longest we've ever been in the division lead in forever. It seems like
3 weeks.
And you have a 1 game technically. We have a 1 game lead technically, but if you think about it, they have a 2 game lead over Chicago.
It feels like a 2 game.
It is a 2 game lead if you think about it, because we have the 2 wins over them. So
yeah.
Lions, they are holding that head over their head, and they all they pretty much had to do right now is win 2 games, and they're pretty much in. And that is if Green Bay loses 1 game as well.
Chicago too.
And Chicago as well, yes. And right now, Philadelphia and you got Detroit. The thing about them is right now they have to try to stop the turnovers. That is the way they have to do for the rest of the season. As this game right here is the closest thing they're going to get to a playoff game for the rest of the season, I feel like. Because this team is an actual playoff team. You're at a playoff stadium in the Eagles. And if you're going to do something, prove something, you got to do it this week, I believe. As the Eagles just so right now are very hot. Nick Foles, man, I tell you what, I did not see him coming this season.
As one of the CBS analysts had said, Michael Vick is like the lead singer, and Nick Foles is like the drummer. And sometimes the drummer can be better, as we see in this case. The drummer is actually using everybody in their league to get himself a win.
Pretty much, he got rid of the singer. He's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, he is playing incredible. 19 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. You can't be any better than that right there. As this one, it's hard. I am not going to lie. It is very hard to pick this one. As much as I'm going to hate to do this, I'm actually going to change my pick and pick Philadelphia. I'm going to say 28-24. Because I just feel like this Philadelphia team is too good for Detroit. And them at home, it's going to be hard to beat them, I feel like.
I had a tough time picking this one as well. I thought about this one all week. I picked Detroit, and I'm going to stay with Detroit. Although it would not surprise me if Philadelphia did win this game. I'm going to pick them to win 31-28. What's going to be the big key is the Philadelphia offense against the Lions defense. Because we all know from Oregon what Chip Kelly's offense system will be.
That's something.
Fast and furious. By the way, rest in peace, Paul Walker.
Yeah, speaking of that, that's how sad news, man. That killed me when I heard that.
I couldn't believe it either. I saw a picture from his autopsy.
They show it? Oh, I didn't see that. I want to see that.
I saw a picture of it.
Oh man, that'd be horrible. I just seen the car and I'm like, there's no way I want to see the body. That was
Yeah, but anyway, let's see here, and the Detroit offense, turnovers. I mean, Jerry turnovers sound good, and so do Tony Romo's turnovers, but not Matt Stafford's turnovers.
Bush also has to watch out on the fumbles too. Bush has had some troubles with that as well, so.
He didn't keep his promise, but he didn't mean to not keep his promise.
Especially on the goal line. Can't do that on the goal line. Come on now. Come on, Bush. But that's my key thing in that one. I just feel like the Lions, I feel like, again, they have trouble with turnovers. They turn over twice in this game. I feel like they're going to lose. And plus, I don't know if our defensive backs who've been struggling all season, which I think we were 26th in the league in passing. And against Nick Foles and this fast offense, they will be hard to take down, and I just feel like Phillies have too much for Detroit.
I got it 31-28. But on a quick side note here, the Lions, this just announced yesterday, will be playing in London next season on October 19th, I think it is, and they're doing a little experiment. The game is going to start at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, which I believe... I heard it as 1:30 London, but it will depend on whether their clocks change before our clocks do, because London is 5 hours ahead of us, so it could be 1:30 or 2:30. But nevertheless, a morning start time, which in my eyes, I really think that they are seriously thinking about moving a team to London. What do you think?
Well, you could do that, or maybe make a league in London if you want to. I mean, they had that before. They had London
They
had
had
a
the
league.
Europa League.
Yeah, but I think the NFL could maybe expand, make another league in London, and hey, maybe at the end of the season you have your NFL's best players going against their best players in a game, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think it's tough to think about. You never know.
Mm-hmm. But do you think there will be a team in London?
I believe there could be. It's possible, but if you get one team, you gotta have more. I think you have to have more than one. If you're gonna move, I mean, you gotta at least have 2 to 4. I believe go there if you do anything.
I see that. If a team moves, I think it's the Jaguars.
Actually, I think they'll add teams. I think they'll add 2 to 4 more teams on that.
That could be. I heard a rumor that Jacksonville might be moving. I heard a rumor Minnesota might be moving, but the Vikings will never
honestly,
move.
I don't think they're gonna move because I think they're building a new
They're
stadium.
going to build a new stadium.
Yeah,
So it's like they will
move,
never
yeah.
move. But I just had to add that as a side note that the London game next year, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, it will start.
I will be in bed.
I will be watching it.
I will probably be in bed. I'll try to wake up, but when I hear my alarm go off and I look at that clock, I'm like, nope. That's how I'm aiming for school, and that's how I'm aiming for this. As big as I'm a football fan, this morning is not my friend.
I usually wake up by 9 a.m. Him, not so much.
No, I'm a noon guy.
Exactly. But anyway, so that was a quick side note. Washington, the Redskin potatoes against Kansas City.
Well, Kansas City came close again to taking down a Denver team, but again, lost, and they really blew it, I feel like, because they had a great lead over Denver. Did they have 20? Was it 28 to? No, 21-7.
Yeah.
They were up, and they blew it because Peyton Manning realized we're losing. We should probably win this game somehow.
Yeah.
And Kansas City, they played a good game, just could not hold on against a strong Denver team. Yes, I gave them few for some reason now. And like I mentioned before, this Kansas City team, they're not. I don't believe they're as good as they are set up to be. Because that's a good team. These guys could not play. I feel like they're just not a strong team overall. Their defense, yes, they play strong, but they've been dying down a little bit these last couple weeks with the offense as well, which I never thought the offense was that good to begin with. And luckily this week they are playing a Washington team who they looked a little better last week against the Giants, but again, just could not pull it off. And there's something to talk about actually about that game last week was that was a third down.
Yeah, it was third down. The refs. Yeah, the refs messed that up.
The announcers on Fox and all that say, no, it wasn't a big deal because they could have caught the ball anyways. I feel like it was a big deal to me.
I think at least it should have been straightened out.
I mean, they said they didn't stop what they say. They didn't stop the play because it would have been an unfair advantage apparently for Washington, which I don't really understand that at all.
Yeah.
They really got to look into that one, or at least find the refs or something for that. I mean, or the chain people. Who the heck? Problem was that
chaining at least
do something. I mean, they should have done something, and that was bad, and that kind of screwed up the game because I feel like Washington was going to have a drive on that game, that little drive they had.
Mm-hmm. At least the refs weren't from the LFL. That's the LFL refs for you.
But back to Washington, they are on a huge struggle, and their season pretty much is over with, as now they're playing for the win. And I feel like if you're watching, you got to bench RG3. I said this last week. I want to say it again this week. You got to bench him because he's gonna get hurt again. I feel like, and you got a good backup in Cousins. It's time to do that now since you know your season's over. And I believe Kansas City's gonna win this one pretty easily though, 28-13, because Kansas City just has another easy game for them.
Yeah, I think Kansas City wins this one too, 31-10. And you're right, it might be time to bench him. I still think they should try one more year on RG3 because I see this team becoming good. But you don't want him to get hurt again. And so I think it's time. Got that, Shanahans? It's time. The Jets against Oakland.
Well, speaking of toilet bowls here, another one. Oakland came close to beating Dallas, but could not do it.
At the start of that game, my first thought was, why the hell did I pick the Cowboys? And then I realized at the end, oh, okay, that's why I picked them.
Oakland, they looked tough at first. They were doing a great job at first. Then they gave up in the second half, and Dallas pretty much knocked them out and won 21-20.
Remember those kids that bullied you in high school? Yeah, they play for the Raiders now.
I like that. That was a good one. But Raiders, they having some issues as their offensive defense just looks like they're on a little struggle right now, and they've been struggling the last couple of years. And again, they have another struggle situation in the Jets. Well, they're on a downward slope now. There ain't no up and down anymore. It's just down now.
Mm-hmm.
As they lost to Miami, and they let me down again last week. Jerks. That's why I never pick the Jets. I don't know why. This is why, because every time I pick them, they lose for some odd reason. But back to the game here. Oakland, I just feel like it's going to get something this week because even the Jets at home, I just cannot see you guys doing anything. Your offense isn't doing good. And truly, Geno Smith, I just feel like he's not going to be a good NFL quarterback. At least not for the Jets.
Yeah,
I mean, he looked good at first, but now he's got his feet wet. He's not looking that good. I have Oakland in this one, 20-12 over New York Jets, and I just feel like Oakland has a better team in this one.
Last week the Jets put in Matt Sims, who if you've been watching NFL for many years and you're older than me, he looks nothing like Phil Simms. Which Phil Simms was good too. Sorry, Matt. But the Jets have basically turned into, or the Jets were. And now they are. Pretty much. As Rex Ryan might get canned after this year.
I believe he's gonna. I mean, he had his one shot this year, and he didn't. They said he had one more shot, and I don't think he did his job. So, New York, let me look for a new coach this year.
Mm-hmm. As Oakland wins this one, 27-13. And with that, segment 3, back in a flash.